Got sad news. This is the last VHS intro I will do because this is the last VHS that I own. Home on the Range and Chicken Little did have VHS releases, however, they are kind of hard to come by nowadays. So this is the last one you'll be seeing. Did he become my brother? A brother bear. Brother Bear was conceived as a. What if we do a Lion King again? That was the initial concept of this film. But instead of taking place in Africa, it takes place in North America. And what's the king of the beast there? Well, a bear, I guess. Is a bear really considered a king? I don't really know. That's what Michael Eisner wanted. He wanted a bear movie. And they took a while to conceptualize the film. It took like a long time. And they finally hey, we'll have it about brothers, One would be played by Michael Clark Duncan, one will be played by Joker from everyone's favorite film, Joker 2. And now the film was about a bunch of people who are now going to transform into bears. At least one of them does, not people. This idea didn't last long, as they wanted a baby bear, so they swapped out the main voice for the original brother for a random side character, and they hired a new kid voice actor to voice a little bear. And that is the main conceptualization over Brother Bear. Most of the making of the film was just them taking vacations to national parks and drawing and painting, which makes it worked out because the film looks nice. But saying a Disney movie has good animation is kind of like saying water is wet. It's bound to happen. I'll let you know when a Disney movie has bad animation, then that'd be newsworthy. Anyway, Brother Bear, in my opinion, is the definition of mediocrity. The film takes an okay premise and makes an okay movie out of it. It is just mediocre. Any ideas that could have worked are just flattened by the really bad writing of the film. The film is supposed to be about a relationship between brothers, but it kind of fails miserably. It starts out with a relationship between three brothers. The one brother, who's Joker, from everyone's favorite movie, Joker Full of Ducks, is how you say it, who is not really good at voice acting at all. He's a hit-or-miss actor, Joaquin Phoenix, and he definitely can't sing. Though he doesn't sing in this movie, thank God. Can we talk about how bad the movie Walk the Line was? Why would you cast Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash? One, he doesn't act like the guy, he doesn't look like the guy, he doesn't sound like the guy. Why would you cast him? This movie's fucking awful. Oh, that was a digress there. Anyway, let's go back to the regular movie. The premise is one of the brothers dies in an accident relating to a bear, and then Kenai, who is the character that Joaquin Phoenix plays, wants to kill the bear. But the spirits don't like this, so they transform him into a bear, because I guess that's how spirits work in this world. So yeah, in this movie, if you kill a bear, you turn into a bear. Good thing you didn't kill a chipmunk or something like that, because that would be really lame. Imagine that, chipmunk brother chipmunk. The rest of the movie is just him going to a mountain with another little baby bear here, brother bear, I guess. They have a very predictable relationship, where the one little brother bear is annoying and he hates him. But over time he learns to like the bear because, I don't know, he's a kid, I guess. The relationship kind of sucks, mostly because the writing for both characters isn't good, and both actors aren't very good either. Now, I would give Grant the one as a kid, but the kid grew up to be a bad actor too. Yeah, Brother Bear guy grew up to be in the AVGN movie Humping a Table. Great career. What's strange is that most of the dialogue in this film is just really bland and generic Hollywood schmut, but sometimes, occasionally, you'll actually get nuggets of actual goodness in the film, but it's very rare. There's a scene a lot of people point out where they see a cave drawing, or it looks like the bear is scary. Then the other bear is isn't it scary as he had to use a stick like that? And it's that's kind of clever writing. It's the only time in the movie where they do something clever like that. Not the only time, but most movies just... These are Canadian moose, or meese, or however you say plural for moose. That they suck. These moose characters are particularly bad, mostly because they have nothing to do with the plot at all. At all. They're just there to spew one-liners, and they're fuck you, I hate you, and then they go away. But then they come back to say more comedic dialogue. They don't even interact with the main characters. Even though Disney has a lot of side characters, but usually they have some interaction, or even most part, at least have some relevance to the plot. These guys are just spew bullshit dialogue. For some reason, this film wants to be a comedy, which makes sense. This kid's movie has a lot of jokes in it. But the reason the jokes in this movie are just flat out bad. They're just really bad. They're either just forgettable or just flat out lame, something a dad would tell you. A dad joke. But like I said, this feels mostly okay. There's a plot point where the one brother is trying to chase after the other bear because he thinks it's the bear that killed his brother, but it isn't. It's his brother, and that's... yeah. It doesn't really go much there. It just kind of eh. And like the ending scene returns back to a human that chooses to be a bear to help out a little baby bear, which would have worked better. The scene works well, but if everything before it was written better, the scene could have been more impactful in my opinion. It's a movie where I feel like the dialogue is just so weak and bad that just brings down everything with it. This is a film mostly made for kids without any general audience in mind. It was made specifically for kids and nothing else. To be, watch it, done, that's neat, and that's about it. There are hints of it trying to do something greater with itself, but it it falls flat for the most part. It tries to be too kiddie without having any deeper themes, and it kind of just gives like a little half glance to those themes. And the worst part is, I've seen films with a similar storyline where a character has to become a parental parent to another character over time, and they grow a bond, but I just don't see the bond here, and that's the biggest problem with the film. But it's cute, and it has good animation, even though it's hard to tell because for some reason this video quality is so shit. So it's one of those films where like it doesn't do anything for me, but it's perfectly fine just to watch and have in the background, have a little kid watch. But I feel like it could have done so much better, and that's why I'm more disappointed than anything else. It had something that could have worked well, it just goes okay, and that's kind of disappointing. Especially compared to the other experimental Disney movies, which at least are doing something very unique. This one's doing something I've seen before, and just not executing it that well, and that's a big issue. One of the biggest issues is the soundtrack to the film. It was done by Phil Collins, so if you see my Tarzan review, I hate Phil Collins. I hate his voice so much. And this movie isn't as bad as it doesn't play as much songs, except for one scene. The scene right here where the bear reveals to his brother bear that he's the one who killed his mom. But instead of actually hearing it, we have a shitty Phil Collins song playing instead of actually hearing the dialogue. Disney has done this in films like Fox and the Hound, which wasn't as bad, but here it's particularly bad. Instead of actually having an emotional connection between two characters, we hear Phil Collins saying, "I'm sorry I let you down, Brother Bear!" And yeah, the character's not named Brother Bear, it's Coda. I know that, I say Brother Bear as a joke, but Phil Collins doesn't know that, and he says, "Brother Bear! Oh, my Brother Bear!" It's terrible. Easily the worst Disney song I've heard so far. I'll talk about more about the songs to get the song ranking, which we'll get to now. Anyway, Brother Bear is an okay film, and it did okay at the time. It wasn't really critically liked at the time, and so far, not many people have loved it that much compared to other Disney films I've seen. Though I'll sure be let know in the comment section below, because all the fans for a certain film come out when I make a video about it. So you'll sure to let me know in the comment section. I know you will. But I guess since it didn't try to experiment too much and just kept sane and just calm and pretty bland, it was able to actually make money on like other better films like Treasure Planet and Atlantis, but whatever. And yeah, so the film actually got better results than those films. Kind of sad. Surprisingly, this film got direct-to-DVD sequel, which is surprising seeing as the film is just kind of okay. And I don't think it's that popular, but it got a sequel. It's about a girl falling in love with a bear, so it's about bestiality, unlike Beauty and the Beast, which was kind of like bestiality, but not really, but whatever. I don't know anything about this film. Like I said, one of these days I'll watch the direct-to-video sequels, but not today. Though I guess the franchise wasn't that successful, as a TV series called Brother Bear the series was cancelled, and all we got is this concept image. So who knows if this would have been good or not. I mean, what is that beaver thing? I'm like, what the fuck is that? Brother Bear, like the other Disney game movies of the time, was also given a video game. However, strangely enough, it was not released on PS2 or PS1 like the other ones. It was only released on PC, and there's a GBA version. The PC one is your generic platformer. It actually doesn't look very good graphically wise, but maybe it is good, but who the hell knows. Being locked on a PC is not a good sign of the game's quality, especially during this time when Steam didn't exist, so who the hell knows. The GBA version of the game is incredibly strange. It looks like it uses animation as the graphics, or like the old Aladdin game. However, it's not executed very well, and it looks very janky and not very good. It tries to be dramatic at the beginning of the game by using actual footage of the movie in GBA format. The GBA technically could play video, but it's really bad. And so yeah, that's what it looks like. Isn't that great quality? It's not. That is it for Brother Bear merchandise. It seems that after the sequel, the film didn't seem to have any merchandisable opportunities, so since then the film's pretty much been dormant, and Disney does not acknowledge it at all, really, which kind of makes sense. The film doesn't do anything special, and doesn't really have any big fan base. I put the film into D tier. It is mediocre. I mentioned that throughout my entire review, all the issues I have with the film. It has potential, but the potential is not driven, and then again, there's other films that do the similar concepts that do it better, that I just rather watch than Brother Bear. So overall, Brother Bear is a film that's okay, but yeah, I'm probably not going to watch it anytime soon. Brother Bear is unique as it doesn't really have a villain, since the main antagonist really would be Kenai, who's the main bear, who did something that was actually really bad by killing a mom bear out of spite. And the other guy's just trying to hunt down a bear they think's killed his brother, even though it is his brother. So he's not really a villain either. He's just angry. So yeah, I can't out any character as a villain in this movie, unless you want to count the moose for being fucking annoying. So yeah, that leads us to the song ranking, which we haven't been here in a little bit. At least a bunch of different songs in a film. This film doesn't have that many songs, but what it does make up for it is with crap, because these songs suck. F tier, No Way Out. I talked about this in the actual main review itself. This song isn't very good. It has really bad lyrics. It's incredibly sappy. Phil Collins fails miserably at capturing the tone of what it's trying to go for in the film. The idea of having a song sung by someone else overtaking the actual emotional scene is something I can't stand in the least. I really hate it. It feels like it cuts off an actual emotional scene that could have been really powerful by Phil Collins singing the most sappy song that feels really cheesy. It doesn't fit the tone at all and has some terrible lyrics. So because of that, No Way Out gets the F tier. It could actually made for a great scene in the movie, but ends up being a terrible scene thanks to this terrible song. Then we got On My Way. It sounds like a really annoying car driving ad or something. Like you could see it in a really bad, like, I don't know, like a Chevrolet commercial. I said Chevrolet because they suck, I think. I don't know. I only drive Honda cars. Anyway. So yeah, there's the F tier song. Sorry, Phil Collins lovers. I think he's annoying and pretentious as fuck. The next song is Welcome. Forgettable, bland. Most of the songs are kind of forgettable and bland. Look Through My Eyes. It has a rockin' chorus, actually. It doesn't sound too bad, but unfortunately, Phil Collins is the singer, meaning it gets an E tier. And yeah, I really don't like these songs. But they don't stick in your head. And the last one, which is in the D tier, I believe, is Great Spirits, which they play a song over time. It's incredibly cheesy like the rest of the songs. It's not sung by Phil Collins, but it's like the one they play this in the beginning and the end. It has potential to be like a great song. I feel like they're trying to be Circle of Life, but it gets nowhere close to it. It's just cheesy, but not in a good way, if that makes any sense. Thank you for watching. That's all I gotta say about Brother Bear. If you like Brother Bear, I'm sorry for bashing on it. It's not a bad film. I just think it has a lot of flaws. But Brother Bear looks like a great film to the next film I gotta cover, which I am not looking forward to at all. Next on the Disney Marathon, we learn that the farm is being closed down in Home on the Range. See you then.